In this episode, we are talking about how you can avoid buyer's remorse when purchasing a home. There are a lot of people who go to purchase a home and sometime after the fact end up in a mental state where they wish they had made a different decision. So, we're going to talk a little bit about what goes into that decision making process and how you can avoid having that buyer's remorse when it comes time for you to become a homeowner as well. So, I'll start with a story about me when I was growing up as a child. I played a couple different sports. I played basketball. I played soccer for a year or two, and I also played baseball. So when it comes to baseball, baseball was a sport that I liked to play, but I was never passionate about playing baseball. But it was one of those things to where I played it because a lot of other people played it. My brother played baseball. It was just, it was something to do essentially, for especially for someone who's athletic and just loves sports. So I got on the baseball field, and I would say one of my least favorite things to do when it came to playing baseball was actually going to bat. I did not like stepping up to the plate because I was always afraid of getting hit by the ball. It's something that I don't know exactly when it started, but it was one of those things to where I'd seen other people been who had been hit by the ball, and I didn't want to get hit by the ball because it looked like it hurt. And as I got a little bit older, you also learn that there are times where a pitcher will intentionally throw at a batter for some strategic purpose, I'm sure. But in any case, being a kid playing baseball, I was like, I don't want anyone throwing at me. I know my aim is not the greatest. This kid that's the same age as me who's throwing a baseball as fast as he can throw in my direction, that was just something that always frightened me. So I like playing outfield. I was fine playing infield. The ball came a little bit faster on the infield, so I actually liked the outfield a little bit better. I had a little bit more time to run to get to the ball, react to what I was seeing. But I was scared of being hit by the ball. So why do I mention that? Because I spent years as a child playing baseball, not really understanding why I played the sport, other than the fact that other people played it. Like I said, my brother played it, and it was something to do. But I didn't really go far deeper than that surface level of why I'm actually playing the sport. Fast forward to 2012. I'm in the Navy now. And so I served for 7 years in the Navy. And during my time in the Navy, I was stationed in multiple places, one of which was on an aircraft carrier, which I deployed on. And you meet people from all over and all different types of walks of life. So while I'm on the aircraft carrier, you notice that there are some individuals who love what they do. They enjoy the job. They enjoy being in the Navy, serving. They love it. And it could seem like arduous work that they're doing, backbreaking work even. However, they love it. They absolutely just day after day, day in, day out, could just continue to do it. And meanwhile, there are a lot of other people who are just going through the motions. A lot of people who are, I'm here, but then I'm not really here mentally. I'm just here physically. People who would rather be anywhere but on deployment or doing what they're doing right now. And the people who genuinely love what it is that they do, when you speak with those individuals, you tend to find out that they have a passion for the job. They know why they signed up to serve in the Navy. They know they're doing the thing that they want to do in the Navy. They love what it is that they do. They love the contribution that they're making to everything that we're doing in the Navy, playing a part in our global mission, being forward deployed or wherever it is that they're stationed at. And so you have people that really buy into that, people that really love it. And it shows in their work. It shows in their ability to just excel and oftentimes promote above their peers. It plays into a lot of that. So why do I mention these two things, the the baseball from when I was a child, and then the Navy when I'm an adult. Regardless of what phase you are in life, if you don't understand why you're doing the thing that you're doing, it could end up being something that really does hurt you in the end. And by that, I mean, it could be something that you end up, when it's all said and done, feeling like you wasted your time. You have what's considered buyer's remorse. If it's a property that you bought and you didn't really understand why you were purchasing the property, other than the fact that, oh, this looks like a nice house. I think this is somewhere where I'd like to live. Outside of just that surface level, if you don't go deeper into another level to really understand why it is that you're doing what you're doing, then it is very easy for you to slip into that buyer's remorse, where now you realize, I'm in this decision, I've done this thing, and I'm not really enjoying it. I'm just going through the motions. I'm just here. I kind of would rather be somewhere else right now. So like when I was in the Navy, a lot of people that were doing the job, but they got into the Navy for one thing, but they didn't buy into their job. They didn't buy into the idea or the reality that there are going to be different places that you're going to be sent at the needs of the Navy. And so where you have to go and what you may have to do might be something that you're not really wanting to do at that moment. But you know what? Being sold into what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it plays a huge part into not just the satisfaction that you will have internally, but the level of productivity that you will be able to express externally in the work that you do and in the impact that it has on other people as well. So attitude is infectious, and doing something first and foremost with a positive attitude can go a long way. But before we even get into attitude, just to wrap up and put a bow on the deeper understanding of knowing why you're doing what you're doing. If you go to purchase a home, I like to ask questions to individuals who I help to purchase homes and say, so what are your plans for 5 years from now, 10 years from now? A lot of people don't know, and that's okay, but you want to start thinking about that, because what you don't want to happen is you get into a house with no exit strategy. Knowing how you're going to leave a thing when you first enter it can really help you in terms of business. So if you've ever done any type of work in the real estate industry, one thing that's really common, especially with real estate investors, is having what we call an exit strategy. An exit strategy means that when you purchase a home, before you make that purchase, you are already in your mind thinking of what your plan is for this house. Are you planning to fix it, flip it, and sell it to make a quick profit, or are you looking to buy it and hold on to it for the long term? Are you looking to, try and whatever that exit strategy is, that's something that you're planning in up front before you actually purchase this home. It's like, hey, you're doing all your research and everything. So when a lot of people go to purchase a home that they live in, they often don't think beyond just the immediate of, I want to become a homeowner, and what is it that I have to do in order to make that happen? I see this house that I like. It's got really nice kitchen. I love the master bathroom. This is the one I want. It's in the area that I want to be in. So this is what beyond that surface level, there's nothing really that's anchoring them to this decision that is going to be the biggest purchase of your life. And when you're talking about something that's the biggest purchase of your life, you really do need to have an exit strategy. You really do need to think beyond the immediate and think long term. Do I plan on being here for the next decade of my life? Do I plan on being here for just the next 5 years? And if so, where do I plan on going after these 5 years are up? Do I plan on renting this place out? And if so, is this a place where I could be able to rent it relatively easily because there are a lot of other rental homes in the area? And if there are a lot of other rental homes, are they renting at a price point that would allow me to still be able to make my mortgage payment without having to put much, if any, of my own money into that rental amount to cover some of that mortgage payment. So those are some of the things that you really need to be thinking about if you're planning on selling it. Okay, what is the housing market doing currently? And are homes in this area appreciating? Are they depreciating? What is happening with the housing market where we currently at? Because in 5 years from now, you might be looking at selling this property, and ideally you'd like to have enough equity to where you can sell it, cover all your expenses, and make some profit on it. But if you're in an area that home prices don't really appreciate that high, that might be something you want to think about. Maybe that switches up your exit strategy. Whatever it is, if you're planning on holding it, do you need to have the money from this property to be able to purchase another property where you're looking at or thinking about going? Or are you going to be able to save up enough money between now and when you get ready to move so that you can still keep this home while still having the funds to be able to purchase the next home that you're looking to purchase? Again, these are the deeper level questions that can really help put you in a better spot and avoid some of the buyer's remorse that a lot of people have when they just hop into a decision because it feels good at the time. They hop into a decision because I liked whatever it was about the idea of just being a homeowner. I'm tired of paying rent, so let me go own a home, not realizing the maintenance and the upkeep and the responsibility that's involved with home ownership. So these are some of the things that you really want to get to a deeper level of understanding on so that you can avoid the buyer's remorse. Maybe you don't purchase the home that looks the most beautiful, that would be your ideal dream home. However, you purchase the one that's more of a financial play, one that's going to end up leading to more money in your pocket in the next 5 years or 7 years, because it's one where home prices are appreciating. There's a lot of building or construction going on in the area that's really going to help elevate the home prices in that area. There's, the rental rates, whatever it might be, that's factoring into that decision. Maybe you're basing your decision on something other than just your feelings that you have. You're putting your feelings aside and going to that deeper level of why is it that I want to be a homeowner? What is it that I want to get out of being a homeowner? So, setting that to the side, getting on to the attitude portion of it. So there's a lot of stress involved in the home buying process. Anyone who has purchased a home for the first time can tell you there's a lot of documents that loan officers ask for. And there's a lot of reasons why we ask for all of those different documents, but we're asking for your tax returns in some instances, asking for your W-2s, your pay stubs, your bank statements. Sometimes they'll need a letter of explanation if you've got some things that are some discrepancies with an address that's listed on your credit report, but it doesn't match up with where you live now. All of these things that lenders are going to want to ask questions on. So it's a stressful process. But once you have a clear idea, the first part that we talked about, once you have a clear idea of why you're making this decision you want to make and you're choosing to move forward with that decision to purchase a home, now you need to keep yourself in the right frame of mind. You need to make sure that you have the right attitude, because things are going to get stressful. Things are going to get hard. You might be asked for some documents, hopefully not multiple times, but it's possible that you could be asked for some documents multiple times. It's possible that after you get into underwriting, so after you've had your loan application taken and everything, and you're in the part where underwriting is looking at your file and going through everything with a fine-tooth comb, it's possible that they may ask for even more things that you were not initially told you would need. And that might require some more work on your part to be able to go and get those things so that now the underwriter can be able to have what they need to make their final determination, give you that final approval and the clear to close. So having said all of that, you want to keep yourself in the right frame of mind. You want to have a positive attitude going through this entire process, because that's only going to play to your benefit to already have solid why I'm purchasing this home, why I'm making this decision. And now I'm committed to it mentally, regardless of the stress that's going to come, regardless of how that appraisal turns out or how the home inspection turns out. And, you use those as tools. Obviously, you don't just ignore what's in the appraisal and ignore what's in the home inspection. You're using those as tools, but you're not being deterred by every bump in the road. You're still mentally in the right frame of mind to where you're thinking clearly and you're committed to what you have already determined is the best decision for you to make, with the information that you've been given and the parameters that you've set for yourself in terms of what you're able to afford, what you're wanting to accomplish currently right now, as well as in the future. So that's what I have for you. 2 tips on how you can avoid buyer's remorse, get to that deeper level of understanding of why it is that you're making the decision that you're making, because you may find out that, this isn't even what I really want. The reason why I'm making this decision is because it's just the thing to do. It's something that everyone else does. It's something that my family members have kind of pushed me to. And if that's the case, up front, this is not the decision that I want to make. And but once you've made that decision, then, and you're committed, now you want to put yourself in that right frame of mind. You really want to have the right attitude that's going to keep you grounded when, the boat starts to rock. It's going to keep you grounded when you start to hit some bumps and some turns in the road, so that you can make sure you get to that closing table. And at the end of it all, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now, you're still solid on, I made a great decision at the time when I decided to purchase this home, and I'm happy that I made this decision. So that's what I have for you. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. Hit that subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Take care. Be blessed.